All right, we are recording. So, I am going to talk a little bit about my experience buying a condo in northern New Jersey back in 2020 and how that decision and that purchase changed the trajectory of my career and essentially my life. Now, I'm not here to tell you that this condo was a life changing endeavor on its own, but the things that led or the result of owning this condo and executing a plan with that condo helped me quit my job and become a full-time real estate professional. It's not that I'm retired. And just helped me sort of change my mindset where now I'm under contract to own my fourth home, and that's just less than 3 years ago. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that experience. My name is Jake Handler. Jake Handler NJ is the tag on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and every other platform as well. A lot of times when I post social media content, it is short form videos. So there, you see captions, you see music. I look probably brighter, and it's edited. But this is going to be a different setting here. This is just me talking to my computer in long form content. No edits, see, I said, I'm not editing that out. I might burp, I don't know. But whatever happens, happens. So thank you for being here. I'm in northern New Jersey. And back in 2020, which I'm recording this in September of 2023, so 3 years ago, but back in 2020, I bought a 2-bedroom condo in Morristown, New Jersey. The target audience for this story that I'm about to share is someone who was in a similar position to me when I bought that condo. I was in my mid-20s. I was single. It doesn't matter if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm just saying I wasn't married and I have kids. And I was open-minded to taking the next chapter of my life, right? Taking the next step forward to see all these great things I heard about real estate and kind of, it's kind of stepping into adulthood in a way when you start owning real estate. So I was a teacher and a high school baseball coach at the time of my purchase in 2020. I was on one income, right? I wasn't married and, I was single. I did some basketball refereeing, so that helped me, like things like that, coaching and some side hustles here and there helped me afford a little more than just my salary would. But the long story short is that I was on one income and was buying in a really expensive area of the country, which is North Jersey. I was able to purchase a condo for $311,000, 2-bedroom condo, walkable to Morristown downtown, which was really important to me. One, because I wanted to live there and enjoy it. And again, being single, social life in Morristown, it's a really nice town to enjoy. And two, because I thought it was a good decision, a good real estate decision, an appreciating asset in a great location. I turned out to be right about both of them, which is why I'm here talking about it. And so the story goes, I lived in one bedroom and rented the other to a friend. So I was able to find a friend to rent a room who needed a room. It was perfect. Good friend of mine. We were able to enjoy life together living there, and he was paying me rent. So I was, I guess, inadvertently a landlord, right? All of a sudden, they call it house hacking. I was house hacking, and I'll call it landlording on training wheels. When you're house hacking because sure, he was my tenant in a way, but he was also my roommate. So it was just a great kind of combination, right? And a lot of times that could get hairy if you're not a good communicator or you're not a reasonable person. So you have to make sure that you understand your responsibility as both a roommate and the homeowner. But what's great is that, like, now I'm 30 years old and I still house hack, okay? But I still don't have kids. I'm not married. Like, there's going to be a time soon where that all happens, right? I'm kind of running out of that my play clock of house hacking might be running low. And that's why when I started in my mid 20s, which is a great time to start, I wish I could start younger. And that's kind of why I want to, I want my audience to be that person that was like me. Because once I have kids, and then whatever amount of years ahead of me, I can't have a little kid and have a random person living with me, right? So there's things you can do before you have kids, and I recommend house hacking. So anyway, I lived there for 2 years with my roommate. And during those 2 years, there was market appreciation. And, you might be thinking, okay, back in 2020, there was really low interest rates, which doesn't exist anymore. Both the appreciation since then and the interest rates, I want you to get out of your head. Because yes, that helped me. But that only helped me in the bigger picture. That didn't help me on the day-to-day. You have to understand, at the time in 2020, people were telling me, and everyone was saying it, that because interest rates are so low, you shouldn't buy because the prices are inflated. And they're not actually going to be worth that. Whatever you're buying for is not going to be worth that in a few years when rates go back up. So in a higher interest rate environment, which at the time of this recording it is, that doesn't mean crap. I mean, people will have excuses to buy or not to buy at all times. And there's challenges in every market. So if interest rates get really low again, I don't know if they'll get under 3 like it was in 2020 when I bought this condo, but it's just really important to understand that when that was the case, people were telling me I shouldn't buy because it was too low. So it's just your perspective and your trajectory of your career. Don't listen to people. Moving forward, I lived there for 2 years. And again, we're getting interest rates out of here and we're getting market appreciation out of here because my story does not impact my story at all. And it shouldn't impact yours. So after the 2-year mark, I said, you know what? I have a lot of money saved up because he was paying me monthly, my roommate. And I became a real estate agent. I was a real estate agent before that, but I was able to actually be a better real estate agent and have a lot more closings during that period when I owned a home. And I still had a full-time job of teaching. So again, saving up money for 2 years, I was like, you know what? I can afford a place. Why should I wait? Because I fully believe in real estate as an asset. Let me collect more right now. Let me become a real landlord. So I bought another house and I moved into that house. Now here's the reason I'm going to say appreciation doesn't matter and rental prices, whatever, doesn't matter. So yes, I was able to buy house number 2, keep condo, or I'll call it house number 1, which equals condo, keep house number 1 as a rental, which does cash flow for me, but again, beside the point, and move into house number 2. I even brought my roommate with me. So I was house hacking house number 2 now. Here's why this is extra powerful. Because now I'm slowly building a portfolio and becoming a landlord. And again, I'm still a teacher, okay? So it's not like I won the lottery or something crazy happened. I just understood the game that when you move into a property, you only need about 5% down. There's times you could put down less. There's times you might have to put down more. It depends on your debt to income ratio. We can talk about that privately if you have a question about that. Excuse me. So I took advantage of that. And I was also able to represent myself as my own realtor. So I was able to get paid at closing. So essentially, I bought a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in a really great town. Quiet street. Great schools. As a single guy in my 20s, as my second house on a teacher's salary. Why and how? Because I educated myself consistently about how to do it. Again, didn't come into a lot of money. I just knew how the game was played. And this one condo helped me get there. Okay, so let's say this condo, regardless, okay, remember I've been saying a few times, we're going to pretend appreciation didn't happen. We're going to pretend the interest rates didn't happen. Okay. So in real life, it does cash flow for me because my interest rate was so low. Let's say it didn't. So let's say right now I'm breaking even on my rental property, which is house number 1, the condo. One, that wouldn't affect my daily life. It cash flows a few $100s a month for me. what am I going to do with a few $100s a month? At this point, save it, right? I mean, and reinvest it, sure, but that's not life-changing numbers. So if I was making a couple hundred, losing a couple hundred, breaking even, that's not affecting me day to day. That's more of a long-term idea. So that's out the window. The second part is, if I was buying in a market that went down instead of up, that'd be even better for me, because now house number 2 would have been cheaper, right? Probably the interest rates would have been lower, because I bought it with interest rates that were way higher than my first one, and it would have just been an easier purchasing. I would have more purchasing power. It would have been easier time purchasing for me. I had to pay $25,000 over asking for house number 2, because I wanted it that bad, and I saw enough in it to need that. But I would love to have paid less, right? So if your excuse in your head is that right now is not a good time to get started, and you're in your 20s and you have friends in your life, like I did, that would live with you, and they don't care if you own, they prefer you to own the house, so you don't have to listen to some old landlord that doesn't want you to party or whatever it is, right? You make the rules. How cool is that? That's cool for both of you. Don't let your 20s go by without experiencing house hacking. Because now, where I'm at now, I'm able to buy, fast forward a little bit, I'm purchasing a duplex as well right now. So it's a fixer-upper that's under contract. I was able to quit teaching, become a full-time real estate professional, and really just teach people how to do what I did. And it's not rocket science. It's so easy. You just have to be flexible and make a couple sacrifices. I would rather live alone, but if I'm having a roommate pay my mortgage, I know that when I'm at this young age that it's an investment for my future. So sharing a kitchen doesn't bother me when I think to myself, wow, in 20 years, I'm going to look back at this time of my life and be so happy that I was able to, make an extra $10,000, $20,000 a year just from rental income of living and sharing a kitchen. I hope some of this makes sense. I hope all of it does. If you have any questions about this subject or anything real estate, I would love to answer them. It's my favorite subject to talk about. I was a teacher. I was a baseball coach. There were things, I'm passionate about a lot of things. Real estate is probably my favorite thing to talk about because there's so many avenues with it. There's so many ways to make money. There's so many different types of people that can get involved. It doesn't matter what your background is. And I love helping. So if you are listening to this and this could be you, you should take action. The way you can contact me is Jake Handler, NJ for New Jersey, is my tag on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. And my email is jakehandlernj@gmail.com. So I kept it consistent, and I look forward to it. Thank you for listening.